What's up guys, Epoxy here, and today I'm going to be going over what Xur is selling for each character and if it's worth buying or not for this week of June 2nd to June 6th. So let's not waste any time, let's get right into the video. So first off, Xur is in the Winding Cove, which is in the EDZ, so go to the EDZ and go here. Once you arrive here, you want to hop in your Sparrow and follow the route I take. Yeah, usually if you're having a hard time finding a location, just look for where all the sparrows are. You want to head up this trail. Jump up here, jump up these rocks. Once you get up here, you will see here's everyone's favorite shady vendor. Alright, let's see what kind of goodies he's got. Off first glance, you see that Xur is selling the Sweet Business Exotic Auto Rifle. Not a very great exotic in my opinion. I see people use it sometimes, but it's very underused. But if you want to give it a try, Xur is selling it right now. If you want to add to your collection because you don't have it already, feel free to come do so. For the Hunter, we have Aeon Swifts. This is a very great exotic. We see it has 65 total stats. Not the best, has some high discipline, okay stats, all pretty much balanced, so not terrible. Moving on to the Titans, we have Line Ramparts. It's very good for air mobility and shooting in the air. Has 67 total stat roll with 20 discipline, 20 recovery. Not terrible. And moving on lastly to the Warlock, we have the Vesper Radius. Another pretty underused exotic, but it's honestly pretty useful. We see it has 63 total stats, 18 strength, 13 recovery, the highest things. Not the best, but let me know what you guys think in the comments. Moving on to the legendary weapons, we have the Firefright. And off first glance, I can see it's not the best. It has Air Assault and Adagio. You never really want Air Assault and Auto Rifle, so honestly, unless you don't have the weapon and want to try it, don't get this. Peace of mind. Important thing you guys should look at this is it has deep sight activation at the bottom, which means that you can use your deep sight harmonizers on it. So if you didn't play around the time this weapon was out and you could like farm it for red borders, you can buy 5 of these from Xur and put your harmonizers on it and get 5 of them and get enough to craft one yourself, which is great. That's probably what I'm gonna end up doing because I never got to farm this weapon and I really always wanted it because it always smacks me in PvP. And then looking here, we have the 7th Seraph SI2 pistol, which honestly looks pretty good. We have surrounded, threat detector, tactical mag, alloy magazine, extended barrel, and full bore. Surrounded is very good for PvE. Threat detector is basically the god roll for both PvE and PvP. Same with tactical mag because it increases stability and reload speed, which is always good, and increases magazine size, which you always want. And we have an extended barrel and full bore. So basically the range isn't that high on it, but it also comes with a range masterwork, so you can get the range pretty decent. But overall, this is almost like I would say a god roll PvE, pretty decent PvE weapon. So I would definitely pick this up if you don't have it already. Moving on to the Hollow Words fusion rifle, you see that as Vorpal, quick draw, ionized battery, liquid coils, chambered compensator, and fluted barrel with a charge masterwork. This is pretty decent. Vorpal is the god roll that you always want for PvE and PvP. Quick draw is pretty decent if it fits your playstyle. Ionized battery is okay. I would definitely go with liquid coils just because of the increased impact and slower charge times. Chambered compensator and fluted barrel. I would probably go with fluted barrel because it increases your stability and also increases your handling speed. And charge time masterwork is always good to have in a fusion, so if you need a good fusion rifle for PvP and PvE, this is definitely a good pickup. Moving on to the grenade launcher, we have Deafening Whisper, which is a wave frame. You see here, threat detector is also the god roll for this weapon for PvE and PvP. And we have Surplus, which is more of a PvE roll. High velocity rounds and implosion rounds. High velocity would definitely be the better choice. And we have linear compensator and smart drift control. Smart drift control I would probably pick for this. And we have a blast radius, which is not terrible, but I'd probably pick something else over it. But overall, this is pretty good. This is almost like a god roll grenade launcher. I would definitely pick this up if you want it for PvE and PvE situations. It would probably work for both pretty well. And then moving on to the machine gun, we also have a deep sight activated weapon, the Recurrent Impact. And at first glance, this is definitely a very PvP roll. We have Tap the Trigger, Genesis, Steady Rounds, Alloy Magazine, Arrowhead Break, and Fluted Barrel. I would definitely pick Fluted Barrel and Steady Rounds if you want this for PvP. And we see we have a reload speed masterwork, which isn't the best. If you want to try a good machine gun in PvP, I've always liked this one. I have a better one, but this one is not bad to start off with, and you can always craft it if you feel like it. So moving on to the last legendary weapon that they're selling, we have the Eternity's Edge sword. which is a vortex frame, and it has surrounded, very good for PvE, tireless blade, one of the best things you get in this weapon, infinite guard. We have enduring blade, jagged edge, and tempered edge. The best out of the two would definitely be tempered edge and jagged edge, and we have an impact masterwork. So overall, this is a very good sword. This is almost as good as it gets when it comes to vortex frames in the Attorney's Edge. So this is also definitely a very good pickup for PvE. And on Titans, we have the Crown Splitter, which is an aggressive frame sword. It has Whirling Blade, which is very good for PvE. We have Relentless Strikes, which is also very good for PvE. And then we have Hungry Edge, Honed Edge, Tempered Edge. Out of these three, I would definitely pick Honed Edge. So overall, it's a pretty decent PvE sword. And on Hunters, you see that we also have the Quick Fang, which is a lightweight frame sword with On Guard. I think that's how you pronounce that, probably not. This is pretty good for PvE. We have Tireless Blade, which is good for PvE and PvP. Of course, Swordmaster's Guard. We have Hungry Edge, Enduring Blade, and Tempered Edge. Out of the three, I would probably pick either Tempered Edge or Hungry Edge. It's a decent sword for PvE for sure. This is also a great pickup for a hunter. But yeah, in terms of armor, Zur isn't really selling anything great on the legendary armor side, but legendary weapons are pretty decent. He's got some okay exotic armor pieces. I would definitely pick up the Aeon Swifts if you don't have them. Line of Ramparts are also decent, and Westford of Radius is also always really good to have on a Warlock. But for sure, look into picking up the Peace of Mind if you want to craft one, 7 Seraph, Hollow Words, Deafening Whisper, Recurrent Impact, and the swords if you need them also. And now let's move on to the exotic weapons that he's selling in this section. He has the Hawkmoon with Moving Target. Moving Target's not what you really want on it. You usually want Rangefinder on the Hawkmoon. You want it to be the absolute best. But if you never tried the Hawkmoon before and want to buy one, it's definitely not a bad thing to buy. And then moving on to the Dead Man's Tale, which is a very good scout rifle. It has insane range. We have Outlaw. Not the best. You probably want something more like Moving Target or Vorpal on this one. But also, if you want to just give it a try, it's not a bad thing to buy it. But I would definitely wait for other weeks for better rolls, in my opinion. And lastly, we're going to go over the armor that we see on the Warlock. We have a 65 stat roll gauntlet piece with high mobility and high strength. Honestly, not very good for a Warlock. I wouldn't pick it up. We have 20 resilience, 18 strength with a total of 63 chest armor. Not the best in my opinion also. We have the helmet with 16 mobility, 12 recovery, 15 strength with 66 total. I wouldn't pick this up either. And then we have leg armor with 20 resilience, 65 total. So it seems like we have a lot of resilience pieces for the Warlocks. Unless for some reason that's where you're going for your build, that's the only reason I would pick any of this up. But other than that, it's probably a good starter set for your Warlock if you don't have any armor on him. But other than that, I probably wouldn't buy it for one of your main account. But yeah, let's move on to my other character. Let's go with top of my hunter now. Alright, we're now on my hunter. Let's see what kind of armor he's got for the hunters. Alright, we see that for the gauntlets, he's got some decent recovery, discipline, intellect. Yeah, not bad. 65 total. It's okay. Very low mobility. I always try to get high mobility on my hunter. Chest armor, we have like basically 10 in each stat. 63. Very balanced, but I look for something more with higher mobility and recovery. We see with the helmet, 20 mobility, not bad. 10 recovery is definitely a good starter piece for sure. And leg armor, we have 18 resilience, 14 intellect, 61 total. Not a very good piece of legs. So overall, okay armor for the hunter. Not the best. I probably wouldn't grab it unless you really needed it. So yeah, let's move on to my last character, my Titan. All right, now we have arrived at my Titan. Let's see what we got in here. And the gauntlets we see, we have a 67 total stat roll. Okay mobility, okay resilience, not a terrible piece. A chest piece, 25 resilience, that's pretty good. 14 discipline, not bad at all. And for the helmet, we have 15 recovery, 17 strength, not a very good piece. And gloves and leg armor, we have 16 recovery, 15 resilience, 21 strength, decent strength, okay resilience, not a bad pickup. But yeah, in terms of armor, Zur isn't really selling anything great on the legendary armor side, but legendary weapons are pretty decent. He's got some okay exotic armor pieces. I would definitely pick up the Aeon Swifts if you don't have them. Line of Ramparts are also decent, and Westford of Radius is also always really good to have on a Warlock. But for sure, look into picking up the Peace of Mind if you want to craft one, 7 Seraph, Hollow Words, Deafening Whisper, Recurrent Impact, and the swords if you need them also. But yeah, that's gonna be the end of my video. Hope you guys enjoyed the little Zur recap. I've never made a video like this before, so I hope it was helpful. Let me know what you think about what Zur selling in the comments. Let me know what you're gonna pick up. Let me know what you think is the most worth it. And also let me know if I missed anything. Once again, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And until next time, peace.